ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पश्यता देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। नमो ब्राह्मण देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्हिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय ते नमः। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिषे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य दास ठाकुर की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। I welcome everyone. हरे
हरे
कृष्णा
कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
हरे
हरे
कृष्ण।
कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्ण एवरीवन।
हरे कृष्णा। Okay, can see my screen, no?
Yes, माता जी.
Okay. So today we are going to see about Srila Narottama Das Thakur. So he is also one of the great acharya in our sampradaya, and he remained brahmachari entire his life, and he has contributed very beautiful Vaishnava songs. And one of the Vaishnava songs, like I mean, there are many, and one of the favorite was Prabhupada's Hari Hari Bifale. So Hari Hari Bifale Gunainum. It comes like that, and so we'll sing one bhajan of uh, Narottama Das Thakur. So this is like a prayer to the Vaishnavas asking for mercy. Right? Sorry. हे परो करुणा करो वैष्णवा गोसाई। हे परो करुणा करो वैष्णवा गोसाई। पतित पावना तुमा बिने के होनाई। पतित पावना तुमा बिने के होनाई। जहरा निकटे गेले पाप दूर जाय। हे मोना दयाला प्रभु केबको तपाय। गंगारा पराशा होले पाशते पवान। दर्शने पवित्र कुरु हे तो गुण। हरिसाने या पारा दे तारे हरि नाम। तो मस्ताने या पारा दे नहीं परित्राण। तुम्हारा हृदय सदा गोविंदा विश्राम। गोविंदा को है नामोरा वैष्णवा परान। प्रति जन्मे कोरी यसा चरणे रधुरी। नारोत्तमे कोरो दोया अपना रबो। हे बरो करुणा करो वैष्णवा गोसाई। पतित पावना तुमा बिने के होनाई। हे बरो करुणा करो वैष्णवा गोसाई। हे बरो करुणा करो वैष्णवा गोसाई। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा। Yeah, Mataji, can you read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. O Vaishnava Goswamis, please be merciful to me now. There is no one except you who can purify the fallen souls. Where does anyone find such a merciful personality by whose mere audience all sins go far away? After bathing in the waters of the sacred Ganges, many times one becomes purified, but just by the sight of you, the fallen souls are purified. This is your great power. The holy name delivers one who has committed an offense to Lord Hari. But if one commits an offense to you, there is no means of deliverance. Your heart is always the resting place of Lord Govinda. And Lord Govinda says, the Vaishnavas are in my heart. I desire the dust of your holy feet in every birth I may take. Please consider Narottama yours and be kind upon him. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, Narottama, Srila Narottama Das Thakur, he was born in a village of Keturi, which belongs to Murshidabad district of West Bengal. So, he was also in the 15th century, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also in 15th century, was there, his appearance. So, Narottama Das Thakura was born on Maghi Purnima. From that day, on. He thrived and grew like the waxing moon. Uh, so all his uh, about his pastimes has been recorded in Bhakti Ratnakara. So here, why is it compared to waxing moon? So we know, like, right, the stages of moon, it changes. From one stage to another stage, it keeps on illuminating. No? Similarly, it has been said that after his bath, I mean, there were so many great symptoms. Like when he was a devote, I mean, since childhood he was a devotee, and also when he was very small, they were like, even it is said like this, the Mahapurush, the symptoms were there. He had very long limbs, and when he was very small child, when this Annaprashna ceremony was there, so that time, what happened? The baby was not taking the prasad, the rice. No, they give first time rice to the child. The baby was not taking. So then everybody were worried what to do now. Like he's not taking. Then finally they offered to the Lord, and then after that he had the prasad. And then his father told. Actually, his father was a king. You can see here, Raja Krishna. Krishnananda Datta. He was a zamindar of the place, and he ordered that henceforth for my child only the prasad has to be given. So he was, because he's not a normal person. He's also from spiritual world. So he's like he was called Champaka Manjari. He's a, in the spiritual world. So, and also when he was joined for schooling, so he learned everything very quickly, and people were very surprised by his intelligence. Like even whatever they taught, he was able to recall immediately. Only once it was taught in class, he was able to memorize it, all the Sanskrit shlokas and grammar, everything. And he had very inclination towards bhakti since his very small age. So his father, Raja Krishnananda Datta, Zamindar of Gopalpur area, and his mother, Narayan Devi. So what is the meaning if we see Nara Uttama means greatest of men. Nara means man, Uttama means greatest. So Narottama Dasa. So he belongs to Kayashta family. So basically this is considered to be not so high grade family. They are like Shudra caste. But why it is said, so there we see that why Krishna want to show that his devotee can belong to any caste. It doesn't make any difference. And still he's one of the great acharyas. And we have many examples like that, no? Like even Haridas Thakur. He was born in a Muslim family. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made him the greatest acharya, no? The Namacharya. He gave him the name as Namacharya. And so there are many pastimes where we see where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also accepted Ramanand Raya. He was also belonged to a lower caste. But then he said that doesn't matter in devotional service, or when whoever knows the science of Krishna consciousness is the Acharya. So that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. So yeah. So he's the reservoir of Krishna Prema. So actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is said that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had predicted very early before appearance of Narottama Das Thakura, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted that such a devotee is going to come, and for him Chaitanya Mahaprabhu deposited the Krishna Prema. I mean the law tears of Lord Krishna he deposited in the river called Padmavati river, and so that when Narottama Das Thakur comes there, so he can get that love. So we see here. Okay, somebody wants to read. This is from Prema Vilasa, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually once he was passing through that Kanai Natashala, the place is called as. So when he was very aesthetically dancing and doing the kirtan, and suddenly he called out the name Narottama. There, I mean, he was with Nityananda Prabhu. So he was seeing towards one direction, and he was having some different kind of look, affectionate look, and he was calling out the name very loudly. And then Nityananda Prabhu asked him, what is the reason? Why are you calling his name? Who is this? Right? He was not at Ban that time. Then Mahaprabhu answers, my Lord, you do not know your glories. Actually, here, my Lord, he is talking about Lord Krishna. He says that, Lord Krishna, you do not know your glories. When we went to Jagannath Puri, that is, when Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there. So Lord Krishna shed tears out of divine love day after day. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that I managed to capture your divine love and save it. Now I wish to keep it here by Padmavati river for Narottama Das. And he prays. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to Padmavati that, oh Padmavati, like I am, please keep this love for Narottama Dasa. And when he comes and bathe here, right, that time you give this love to him. So I am depositing here. He tells the river, Padmavati river, that I am depositing. So when he comes, you have to give it to him. So then obviously she asked, right, how will I identify that when he comes? How do I know that it is this person whom I have to give this love? Then he says, okay, when you will know, because when he takes bath, you will overflow. The water will start overflowing. That is because of love. So much of ecstasy. She goes into ecstasy. No, so then you will know. Then um, so then what happens? So when once in a dream, Nityananda Prabhu comes. He was just a 12-year-old then. Narottama Das Thakur was a just 12-year-old boy. That time Nityananda Prabhu comes in dream and tells him that, okay, now it is time for you. You have to go to river Padmavati and take bath, because Lord has installed love for you there. So you have to take bath there. So he had heard Narottama Das Thakura he had heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? And then he had he used to get dreams also of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, and always he was aspiring to hear. He was very much inspired by hearing about them. So then what happens after he goes there and he takes bath, right? He was able to feel so much ecstasy, and then he completely changed. So as soon as after he took the bath, he became a different person. Everything about Narottama Das Thakur changed. His character, his appearance. He said that his complexion became like a molten golden color. So just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no, his color also is compared like that. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam. So similarly, his appearance got changed, and then so he completely lost interest in all the material opulences. He was more attracted to only he wanted to chant, and he wanted to go to Vrindavan, leave everything. He was always thinking, when can I leave everything, and when will I get the time? When can I go to Vrindavan? So his parents got really worried, because always he was chanting the name of the Lord, and he was not interested in any of the normal family life. Then his parents tried to bring him back to make it normal, but then they failed. This we see similar thing in Raghunath Das Goswami pastime, right? So where many times he wanted to escape, and then they kept guards so that he will not escape. And then once his mother tells his father that, why don't you tie him and keep? So anyone remember what was the reply of his father? What did he say? What did he say? Anyone know? What did his father tell him, his wife, that we can't bind our son? Yes. Compared to what? Opulences were, our son is he's like opulences are compared to Indra, no, and has a very beautiful wife who is she was also so gorgeous. She was like a goddess. So still that cannot bind him. So how can a rope can keep him binded? That's what he said, no? So similarly here also we see the parents try, but they fail. And there are two there are in one place it is said that he leaves home. He sees an opportunity and he escaped from home. And in some other place, it is given that he handed over his all responsibility to his cousin brother. He had a cousin brother, and then he left his home. I mean, left all the riches because his father was very rich. He left all that. And after leaving, he day and night he was crying and he was calling the name of the Lord. And sometimes he used to have food, and sometimes he used to starve. He was not having anything, and like that he used to lie unconscious. So once he fell down like that, and sometimes the people, because they know that he's son of king, they used to give him some food and on the way. And then once he fell under a tree, then what happens? There, one Brahmana appears there. A Brahmana appears and he says, "Oh Narottama, drink this milk. Your cuts and bruises will go away. Take it easy." So saying that, the Brahmana vanished. So who was this Brahmana? That was none other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? He gives that and he vanished. And the same night, Raghunath Das Goswami and not Raghunath, Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami comes in his dream, and they say that, and it is said that they made him drink the milk. He was a very small child, no? And then they made him milk, and then they said that, okay, now this is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. He has given this. And then they said that now all your tiredness will be vanished, right? So then he felt very happy that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself had come to give him that. So this is a bhajan by Narottama Das Thakur. As I said, there are many bhajans, right? Famous bhajan like Radha Krishna Pranmora. I mean, many of his bhajans are there playing in ISKCON every day. Like this one is from Guru morning Darshanarti, no? Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Toma Bina Ke Doyalu Jagat Samsare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Karo More Toma Bina Ke Doyalo Jagat Samsare Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Mosama Patita Prabhu Napaibe Ara. So, my dear Lord Chaitanya, please be merciful to me, because who can be more merciful than your Lordship within these three worlds? Your incarnation is just to reclaim the conditioned soul, but I assure you that you will not find a great and fallen soul than me. Therefore, my claim is first. But these great acharyas, they say that they are fallen because Uttama Adhikari, when you are, Prabhupada says, when you are in a Uttama Adhikari stage, the person always feels that he is in the lowest position than anybody else. Actually, they are on the because they see everyone like okay, they are serving better than me to Krishna, no? Even so they consider themselves to be the most fallen, but it is not so, no? And we know that even Radha, this is the quality of a pure devotee. Even Radharani, when somebody wants to come do the service to Krishna, she always feel that they are more pure. I mean, they are the pure devotee than her, though she is the most beloved devotee of Krishna, right? So is the nature of the pure devotees. And we have many bhajans like even the Radha Krishna Pranamura, the song was by Narottama Das Thakur, which is told during the Shayana Aarti. And there are many, we'll see those bhajans. Okay. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, okay, sorry, goes to Vrindavana after getting dream of Mahaprabhu. So he leaves to Vrindavan. He cried in separation from Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. So Rupa and Sanatana Goswami were not there that time. They had also disappeared from this material world. And he meets Jiva Goswami. So Jiva Goswami was nephew of Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, right? I mean, they were brothers, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and Anupama Goswami. So Jiva Goswami was son of Anupama Goswami. So he was also a disciple of Rupa Goswami. And we know, like, after their disappearance, it was Jiva Goswami who took over the preaching in the region of Orissa and Bengal, right? So, and then he initiated, he served Lokanath Goswami, took initiation from Lokanath Goswami. So he was the only one and one disciple of uh, Lokanath Goswami. So Lokanath Goswami was considered to be a personal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? He was a personal associate, and he was like his standard. His the way of worshipping was in suppression. Suppression in the sense he used to worship in solitude. He loved to worship the Lord in solitude, and so he didn't wish to have any disciples. He didn't wanted to have any disciples because more disciple, then more they will talk about. The talks will go here and there. They'll start talking about materialistic thing. Similarly, like how we see Gaur Kishore Babji Maharaj, right? So in order to prevent from people coming to speak to him for all material desires, people used to come. So he used to hide in the public toilet, right? And then there he used to chant. Similarly, we can also see here, Loknath Goswami also, he didn't want to have any disciple. But then he had made a oath that he is not going to have any disciple. But then Narottama Das Thakur also made a oath that if he had to get initiated, that would be from Lokanath Goswami. And then what he does, he goes and without knowing to him, like he was hiding and without knowing to him. So night time when his guru, his spiritual master used to go and for nature's call. And then after he used to go and the Narottama Das Thakur, he used to go and clean that, the area where he passed stool, right? Passed stool and urine. That he used to do that every single day. And he did that almost for, and he used to even keep for water there for his for cleaning, and some earth or mud that he used to keep for him. And now he did that almost for 1 year. He was like surprised. Loknath Goswami was thinking, who is this doing this? Who is coming in the night and doing? And one night he was watching from the forest, from behind a bush. He was watching, and he saw that this Narottama Dasa is coming and doing this cleaning. And when he goes to him, and then Narottama Das Thakur, he asked, like, why are you doing this? Then he says that you have to make me your disciple. With so much of humility, he says, and he starts crying, and then he cannot do anything. His heart softened, it said, and then he makes him his disciple. Jiva Goswami was his Shiksha Guru, right? Though the initiated master was Lokanath Goswami, but Shiksha Guru can be any number of Shiksha Guru we can have. So Jiva Goswami was a Shiksha Guru. Srinivasa, Narottama Dasa, and Dukhi Krishna Dasa were his students. So these three were students of Jiva Goswami. When their studies were completed, Jiva gave them the title Acharya Thakur and Shamananda Pandit. So Srinivasa was given the name as Acharya, Srinivas Acharya, and Narottama Dasa was given Thakur. So the Thakur was added. And then Dukhi Krishna Dasa was given Shamananda Pandit. So Jiva Goswami sent them to Bengal after getting message from Janvi Devi for preaching the Vaishnava philosophy. So we know that so Jiva Goswami sends these three disciples. This we saw in the right. You may remember in past time of Jiva Goswami we saw, like, he sends these three people with all the literature. He had Jiva Goswami used to handwritten those literatures, because those time there were no making Xerox, and this facility was not there. No, if you want to sell one more book, second book, they have to handwritten them. So those books he had sent along with them. What happened? The card which they were carrying, that got stolen, and that was done by a king only there. the king was the one who used to steal. I mean, he used to get a message from his people that some people they are carrying something very precious, or he thought it to be money or gold, right? That is why he robbed it. But then they were like, for them, obviously, um they were very much I mean, disturbed by this act, and they searched everywhere, but they could not find it. And finally, Srinivas Thakur, right, Srinivas Acharya, he goes to the king, and then he sees there that there was some Bhagavatam class going on, and then they were doing some misinterpretation. Then there he objected, and he starts speaking, giving his opinion. I mean, he starts the preaching. So the king liked very much, and then he says, "So now on, you have to give every day." So that's how, and finally they also find out that, and then when he asks, "What do you want?" Then he says that our scriptures have been stolen, and I am looking for it. And then when he sees in his kazana, what is that truck having, and then he find out that that was having only the books, and then he hands it over. So it is said that they were the first people. These three, uh, uh, Narottama Das Thakur, Srinivas Acharya, and Shamananda Pandit, they were the first to start the book distribution in Vaishnava Sampradaya. So Lokanath uh, taught the world through his disciple uh, on the principle that a housewife teaches the daughter-in-law by instructing the daughter. So basically, what is happening? What happened? So Lokanath, he was in Vrindavan, right? Uh, so he sent Lokanath Goswami tells him that you go to your Keturi village, because there you have to give this Krishna consciousness to the people who are in material, because they are in completely engaged in sense gratification and in uh, uh, so for that people you have to go there. He was not interested, but then it is said that how a disciple will teach. Like Prabhupada also give this example. If a mother-in-law want to teach her daughter-in-law, she cannot tell directly, because already if mother-in-law says something, the daughter-in-law will mistake. So she tells indirectly to her daughter. She scolds her daughter for doing that, though daughter has not done any mistake. So similarly, here it is said, this is just a showing that as sets an example, right? He's though I mean, he didn't wanted to send his disciple far from him, but then he wanted to set as a example. So this look, because Lokan he don't want people to get into. I mean, he himself didn't want to engage in the welfare of materialists. No, he was not interested. But then he sends his disciple in the material world. So yeah, so that is just to set an example. And who can describe the joy of that kirtan? Mahaprabhu himself and his associates all became incarnate, just like lightning in a conglomeration of rain clouds. So basically, he conducted, after going to the village, so Narottama Das Thakur conducted a very grand festival there. And that was the first time the Gaura Purnima was celebrated. So honoring the disappearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So that time, uh, he visited most of the places, and he took the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, or the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he conducts this festival. So after the Keturi festival, Narottama's fame spread throughout the Vaishnava world. Prominent Brahmanas like Ramakrishna Acharya and Ganga Narayana Chakravarti became his disciples. So these were the Smarta Brahmanas there, and who all were very much convinced with the Vaishnava philosophy, and they took it. They became his disciples. So 50 years after the disappearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Narottama organized annual festivals in Bengal, which served to keep the Gaudiya philosophy unified. So Mahaprabhu instructed him to write Vaishnava bhajans. So, Narottama's preaching adventure. So this was on pastime where in a Gopalapura village, so there was a Brahmana called Vipradas. So there was a snake residing in his storage. Okay, it was very poisonous snake, and in his grain storage. So when Narottama Dasa Thakura visited there, the snake vanished, and in that place the deities had come. The Gaura, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his wife Vishnu Priya. So Gaurasundra and his beloved Vishnupriya came out of the Gola and climbed into Narottama's lap in plain view of everyone. So when everybody was there, so the deities automatically they jumped from the place and it fell on the lap of Narottama Das Thakur. And everybody was amazed to see this thing happened, right? And now also it is said these deities are there and they are worshipped in Gambira. So, once some pastimes. So Smartha Brahmana scholar blasphemed Narottama, calling him Shudra. So there was an Smartha Brahmana. So he was a very big scholar. He was a Sanskrit scholar, and he was very proud of himself. So since Narottama belonged to a low caste, he called him a Shudra, because you cannot. It's a blaspheming a devotee, no? Because he is not a. The Krishna also said Janma. I mean Chaturvarnya Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. So basically, this caste system is prevailing in the society based on the birth, but it is not so. What Krishna says is only by the name, by the quality and the karma, because he was doing only Brahmanical work. He was teaching, preaching, and the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and he was also learning. So he's a Brahmana, no? But he blasphemed him. So what happened? It is said that Brahmana got affected with leprosy, and he was praying one goddesses. So the goddesses came in that Brahmana's dream, and he said that you have blasphemed a pure devotee. You go to him and ask for forgiveness. Then you will be forgiven. So then he goes and he falls at his feet, and then Narottama Das Thakura forgave him. Right? Then he was free from the disease. So another time, what happens? There were two young Brahmanas, young boys, right? They were sons of Shivananda Acharya. He was also Smartha Brahmin. So those boys, they were taking a goat and a cow for sacrifice to the goddess, I mean, God Kali. So when Narottama Das Thakur see him, I mean, when they saw Narottama Das coming on the way, they were very much influenced by seeing effulgence coming out from his body, right? So, and then when Narottama Das Thakur stopped them, and then he says that they have to stop this animal violence, and if they do this, so what will happen? They will never be. I mean, they'll be committing so much of offense and so much of sin, and they will not be able to come out of the birth and death cycle, right? So they were very much convinced by his talk, and because Prabhupada also says that when there is a no, sorry, Namanishta Prabhuji, His Grace Namanishta Prabhuji, he mentions always that Prabhupada was always speaking very simple, but then his words used to touch the people because of his realization. Because when we speak, it will not touch the people's heart. But then when we hear from a realized soul, it automatically touches. So here also, when he said you stop animal of violence, they felt like they're doing something wrong, sinful, and they left. And he asked them that you have to go to the river Padmavati, take bath there and come. So they come. After that, he initiated them. So they took the initiation. Those two become his disciples. And in another, this was, and then many Brahmanas, I mean, Smartha Brahmanas, their children, they became the disciples of Narottama Das Thakur. So, so now these Brahmanas became really worried, right? So these disciples, they were able to defeat all the Smartha arguments. Whatever they had arguments, they were not able to because the teaching was so strong of Narottama Das Thakur. Even his disciples were able to defeat them. So there was one scholar called Murari. So his disciples defeated him. So by seeing that, the Brahmanas went to Raja Narasimha. So he was a king. So they went and they complained that this person is converting everyone. All the Smartha Brahmanas are taking to Vaishnava philosophy. So then what they did, so the disciples come to know that they're they're trying to blaspheme Narottama Das, I mean their spiritual master. So what they did, they in disguise, like they came in a disguise. They come to know that this Raja, the king had brought one more Pandit along with him, Roop Narayan. You must have heard this Roop Narayan name, no? This Roop Narayan is the same person who went to Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, and he said that uh, whoever could defeat him, they have to write a letter like, okay, I have been defeated by so and so person. They have to leak that victory letter. He used to carry all over the place. He used to go and do that. But Rupa Sanatana didn't, I mean, they were not interested. They said that without having any argument on Shastrastra, they said that we will write and give that we are defeated. But we know that later Jiva Goswami defeated them, their disciple. So that was a different past tense. So here also the same person, the Rup Narayan, the king is bringing him. And what happened? These disciples come to know, and then they disguise themselves as a potter. Okay, potter and a pan seller. So these people come there to the shop. So they started speaking about the philosophy, and then they started argument with the Rupa Narayana and the king both were there. So they defeated the both of them, right? And then Raja Narasimha thought, how come in this village a normal one shop seller also is so well versed in the philosophy of right? So he was shocked, and later he found out that okay, these are disciples of Narottama Dasa. And then he decided, he told his, Rupa Narayan that okay, you are defeated from his disciples, so now no point in going to Narottama, obviously, right? So, and it is said that the again goddesses came in the dream of that those people, the Brahmana and Raj Narasimha, and then she said that you have to go and ask forgiveness because you have blasphemed the Narottama Das Thakur. He is a pure devotee of Lord. And then they go and ask forgiveness, and it is said they also became the devotees of Radha Krishna after that. So what does Prabhupada say about Narottama Das Thakur? The praise of Narottama Das Thakura, he said, this sound is above the material platform. It is directly from spiritual platform, and there is no need of understanding the language. It is just like a thunder burst. Everyone can hear the sound of thunder. There is no misunderstanding. Similarly, these songs are above the material platform, and they crack like thunder within your heart. So we know that the Nama, taking the name of Lord, is so powerful. So similarly, all the Vaishnava bhajans, and here the actually Narottama Das Thakur has made bhajans for every incident. I mean, for all the all kind of situational songs he has written. So Prabhupada says that it is transcendental. It is not coming from it is not a material sound, just like Harinam mantra. It is not a materialistic thing, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Namna Makarit Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. The name is having all the potency in it. So similarly, when we sing the bhajans of these acharyas, right, our heart also will melt. I mean, whatever we are having so much, all anarthas in heart, that everything will go when we start saying this Vaishnava bhajans with that humility and love. And we see this instance in Valmiki example also, right? Valmiki Maharshi also, before he is becoming Valmiki, when he was a hunter and he was very cruel. So Narada Muni comes and tell him that you have to chant the holy name, Rama Rama. He was so sinful that he was not even able to chant properly the name of the Lord. He was saying Mara, Mara, Mara. But then Lord Ram is so merciful. He took it as Rama. So when we say Mara, Mara also, it sounds like Rama, Rama, Rama. So that's how he was delivered and he became a greatest saint. So similarly, Prabhupada also is saying here that it can crack like thunder within your heart. So it can change our materialistic heart and it can bring love for Krishna. So Narottama Dasa Thakura, a great devotee and Acharya of Gaudiya Vaishnava sect, had sung, "My Lord, I have simply wasted my life having obtained the human body. I have neglected the worship your lordship, and therefore I have willingly drunk poison." In other words, human body is especially meant for cultivating knowledge of devotional service to the Lord, without which life becomes full of anxiety and miserable conditions. So why we are all in anxiety and this thing? Because we are trying to seek happiness in different things in material world. So unless we come to the platform that no, okay, what is my position? No, Jivere Swarupaye Krishnera Nityadas. So my position as a soul is to serve the whole, that is Lord. So only then I can be happy. No? So here, this bhajan also, he says, I've taken the human life, but then if I'm not uh, worshipping the Lord after, because we get this human life after many, many births. And if I'm neglecting that, then it is like I'm willingly, knowingly, I'm taking the poison. So this is the song. Hari Hari Bifale Janama Gunainu. Hari Hari Bifale Janama Gunainu. Manushya Janma Paya Radha Krishna na Bajiya. Manushya Janma Paya Radha Krishna na Bajiya. Janiya Shuniya Visha Kainu. Janiya Shuniya Visha Kainu. Hari Hari Vipale Janama Gunainu. O Lord Hari, I have spent my life uselessly, having obtained a human birth and having not worshipped Radha Krishna. I have knowingly drunk poison. So now we actually, none of us were knowing that what is the goal of life or what is that as a human we have to take up. So now coming to Krishna consciousness, little bit we have understood the philosophy and also what is our real goal for life. But after knowing that also, if we are not engaging, so that is what he says, that we are like willingly having poison. It's like willingly I'm taking poison. No, I because I'm engaging in more and more fruitive activities, then what will happen? I will be taking birth again and again, and there will no way for me to get out of this cycle of birth and death. So Narottama Das Thakur, although composed with sweet melodies in simple Bengali language, Narottama Das songs give shastric siddhanta and devotional inspiration. So these were not just bhajans. It also had love for Krishna and also the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Excerpt in Prema Bhakti Chandrika, Radha and Krishna are my goal in life and death. They are the masters of my breath. Performing my bhajan only for them, I rise and fall in ocean of prema. I pray that I can always maintain this conception within my heart as my highest ideal. I think this is uh, Radha Krishna Pranamora Yugala Kishore Jivane Marane Gati Arana Himora. See, there's no one other than them, Lord Krishna, right? Radha and Krishna. So, disappearance of Srila Narottama Das Thakur. So he actually lived for a very long time, and actually his disciple Srinivas Acharya's disciples were there. There were two disciples. I mean, they were very. I mean, his disciple was very close to him, to Narottama Das Thakur, and he come to know that he has also. I mean. Uh, disappeared in from this material world. And in some days, his disciple Srinivas Acharya also left this material world. That time he wrote this Jay Anilo, because that we sing Jay Anilo Prema Dhana. That's that bhajan also we sing whenever there is a disappearance day of the Acharyas. So Narottama Das Thakura, when he know that it was time for him to leave, so he asked his disciples, take me to the river, right? And then there you have to give me a bath with your own hands. You have to give me a bath, and then they take him there, and they are putting water on him, and they're bathing with their hand. What happens is body is turning whitish, and it is actually melting. His body was melting like a milk, and it got mixed with the water. And they're seeing that his body is melting away, and they are not able to stop also. They're weeping because they see in front of their eyes that his body is melting, because they're losing their spiritual master. Knowingly they are doing, because they cannot stop. This is the order of the spiritual master. So so seeing, like, I mean, in front of their eyes only, that finally this body disappeared, and everything, it melted, and we can see that water had become like a milk. No, it is so whitish. So and then they took that water, and which was mixed with the Ganga, and they put it in a big pot, and they brought it to his village called Keturi, his village, and then they made it as a samadhi, and that is called as doodh. What is that? Samadhi of milk. No? It is called as doodh samadhi. So we can see here on the right side, they made a very nice samadhi there, and this is the Pushpa Samadhi in Sri Sri Radha Goloka, Gokulananda Temple courtyard. A garland, cowpins, cloth, and mala from his contents of Narottama Dasa Pushpa Samadhi. So all his used things were kept there. And Narottama had such forgiving compassion. He embraced even the caste Brahmanas who blasphemed him as a Shudra. He remains a symbol of compassion and an icon of reference in our Brahma Madhava Gaudiya disciple succession. So we know that so many Brahmanas, the Smarta Brahmanas, blasphemed him. Still he accepted them, and also he had made them he gave them the Krishna Prema, and he made them the devotees, right? So he's considered to be a symbol of compassion in our Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. So all glories to Narottama Das Thakur. So these are the bhajans, famous bhajans by Narottama Das Thakur, few of them. So Shri Guru Charana Padma, that also we sing in the morning, no? And then Radha Krishna Pranamura, Nitai Pada Kamala, Nitai Pada Kamala, Koti Janma Shashitala. So Shri Rupa Majari Pada, Vrindavana Ramyasthana. So this Vrindavana Ramyasthana is sung in Vrindavan in the morning. Prarthana, right? Every day it is sung. And Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Jay Anilo Premadhana, Hari Haraya Nama Krishna, Hari Haraya Nama Krishna, Yadavaya Namaha, Yadavaya Madhavaya, Keshavaya Namaha. So Gauranga Bolite Habe. So all famous songs for all occasions. So singing these Vaishnava songs of devotion is an essential tool of Bhakti Yoga. It at once liberates us from the miseries of this temporary world and transfers our consciousness to higher levels of love of God. Transcendental sound can carry us to transcendental realm. So we see that Hare Krishna mantra is coming from the Goloka directly. So similarly, when we sing these bhajans of the acharyas, this can really elevate our consciousness to a higher level, and then it can take back to Godhead. Okay. So with this, we come to the end of the session. Narottama Das Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Wonderful session.
Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Okay. Anybody wants to add anything or say anything? You can. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mrinal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. No
Hare
such
Krishna.
question from my side.
Okay. Okay. You can mark your attendance over Mataji has posted the link. Okay, if there are no questions, we can close. Is Tanuja Mataji, you have anything to say?
No, what happens like I attend your session the offline later on, like because I'm working also, so I
Okay.
attended later on. But
Okay.
I think in between two times I missed it. So today
Okay.
I thought like I should attend it, and I made it a point like I came early and I attended it. So it was a wonderful session, really. I really wait for this Friday to come actually, but something or the other happened. And last only 2 sessions I missed, but this was
Yes,
a really
Mataji. Yeah, we
wonderful.
have actually. Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
Mataji. Please. Sorry.
Yeah. So actually, I like when it is online. So when I can hear you directly, like so offline, it becomes
Yeah,
like I cannot ask anything, and so it
correct.
becomes good, like nice to hear everything. Like
Yeah, live sessions are good actually when
yeah,
we attend. And also when so much we can see like how much sacrifice they have done, our acharyas, and we need to know about our acharyas also. So
yeah,
mostly we many acharyas are there. We don't know much. So that is why
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And suppose Mataji, if I want to attend it since from beginning, like so I missed in between a few of them. So what is the other this like?
I think
How I
it will continue, Mataji. After I mean, there may be other teachers also who are taking. I think I'm not
okay,
sure. It will be like continuous, Mataji. Like one acharyas will be finished and the next topic will start. After that, it will come like a circle. I think again.
okay,
Yeah. So
okay,
after acharya session, I think we are going to read the prayers from Srimad Bhagavatam.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So please do attend all the classes.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. Can close. If there are no other questions. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha anantakoti vaishnavindu ki jai namacharya das Thakur ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can we chant 3 times Hare Krishna?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Rama
Rama, Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Thank you so
Mataji.
much.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you,
Mataji.
everyone. Hare Krishna.